So yeah, question of the day is, what song from a video game lives rent-free in your head? When you hear it, you're taken right back to that scene in the game, whatever it is, and you feel that same emotion that you did back then. And it's funny because usually a question like this is something that I would dwell on, right? It's something that I would think about all of the different music and all the different games I've played and wouldn't come up with an answer. But I immediately came up with two. And it may be that this is not an exhaustive list, but they're just the two that were top of mind. Requiem for the Gods, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. I think I've actually heard that, but I don't remember. I will give it a listen afterwards. Requiem for the Gods. But the two songs that come to mind for me are At the Bottom of Night from Chrono Trigger. Because as soon as I hear that song, I think immediately back to that scene when you're in, I can't remember what it was called, which dome it is in the future. But whatever it is, it's where Robo was assembled. And you meet all of these later versions of him. And he's like, oh, my friends, my family, I'm one of you. And they fucking beat the shit out of him. So much so that he's trying to escape them and he's begging you to help him. And they pull him back into the center of that fucking pile and continue to beat the living shit out of him. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. That death scene was just so fucking brutal. You know, he got the beat down from people that he thought were his friends, and he couldn't escape them. I couldn't believe it watching that as a kid. I'm like, holy crap, this is intense. And the whole time it's playing, there's this really sad music. I bet if I watch that scene right now, I feel at least a little bit of what I did the first time I played that game, because it just stuck with me. But there's so many songs in that game, though, that are just like, oh man, they're wonderful. But that was the first one. The other one that came to mind was June Mermaid from Xenogears, PS1. That's the song that is played when you first discover Ellie and Faye's, spoilers, Ellie and Faye's daughter. Well, quote, daughter. The creature that they created, the nanomachine colony. And that scene is, there's two times that it plays, I think, in the context of Emeralda. One, when you discover her, and two, when she grows up. And there's this beautiful cutscene of Faye, well, previous version of Faye and Ellie, and just gripping with this reality that they can never have kids because of this plague. Oh man, it was... And then again, that music is playing, and it's equal parts hopeful and optimistic, but also just dour. And there's this feeling of loss and despair in that song, and it just cycles back and forth between those two, and it's so freaking good. Music is very important to me in games. Honorable mention, The Beach of Dreams, Another World, Chrono Cross. Yes, that one I've heard. Dragnir theme, Breath of Fire 3, and the list goes on. Love Chrono Trigger and Xenogears. Man, I've only ever played... Xenogears is one of those games I've only played once. I was stuck at home with the chicken pox. But, I mean, I had like the mildest case of the chicken pox. I didn't feel sick. I had, chicken pox. But I could still do whatever the hell I wanted. So, a friend of mine had loaned me this game. And I played the absolute shit out of it. The entire, week that I was sick. I binged the hell out of that game, man. I love that game, but I only ever wanted to play it once. I never thought about playing that game again. And it's a weird thing I have where if I enjoy something so much, I want to sort of preserve that memory of it. Maybe it's a trust thing, because I feel like if I watch it again, I'll my older adult mind will pick things apart or maybe not appreciate it the same way. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to play it again. It's like Cowboy Bebop, the last 2 episodes. I don't ever want to watch those again because they were just so, they were just so great. Just want to leave it preserved in my memory that way. Oh, Dragonborn's a good one. Actually, an honorable mention for me would be, I think it's called Far Horizons from Skyrim. And there's a wonderful version of it performed by the London Philharmonic Orchestra. In fact, actually, I'm going to mention this to anybody. There's a couple of really neat albums where the London Philharmonic Orchestra is playing video game music. The cover's actually really cool of these albums because it looks like something from Call of Duty. Back when Call of Duty wasn't a fucking joke. Yeah, the greatest video game music, 1 and 2. Anyway, we got some people to save, and here we are hanging out in the castle, having a conversation.